All right, let's jump right into this. I want you to close your eyes for a second and just picture a scene in breathtaking, cinematic 4K resolution. Imagine a trembling world. The ground is literally shaking beneath your feet, and right above you, this terrifying sky is gathering with heavy, churning, red clouds of impending disaster. But right in the center of all this chaos, holding back the entire collapse, is a single, solitary, glowing white pillar. Today's explainer is all about that pillar. We're unlocking a really profound mystery found in the ancient texts of the Zohar, specifically Parashat Vayeshev. We're focusing on a concept known as Hatzadik Avad, the removal of the righteous. It's an absolute deep dive into the cosmic mechanics of why exactly the greatest protectors of our world are seemingly taken offline right before disaster strikes.
So to set the stage for our entire journey, we have to look at Isaiah 57:1, which tells us, "The righteous perishes, and no man takes it to heart, that the righteous is taken away from the evil to come." That glowing white pillar we just imagined, that is the Tzaddik, the truly righteous person. They stand as this solitary force, desperately holding up the collapsing sky of judgment just to protect everyone else beneath them. But the text is very specific here. It tells us they are taken away from the evil to come.
And that brings us to the crucial question, right? Why on earth is the ultimate protector removed right before disaster strikes? At first glance, that feels completely backwards. It feels like a glitch in the cosmic system. I mean, if you know a massive storm is coming, you don't dismantle your shelter. But, as we're going to see from the Zohar, this isn't a glitch at all. It is actually a highly sophisticated, flawlessly designed security protocol. To truly grasp the deep mechanics of what the Zohar is teaching us today, we're going to look at this ancient wisdom through two modern lenses: cosmic engineering and video game dynamics. Because honestly, by translating these heavy mystical concepts into frameworks we already interact with every day, the sheer genius of the system becomes crystal clear.
Let's start with our tech analogy to really unpack the Sod, the hidden secret of the text. The Tzaddik, the righteous person, isn't just someone who does good deeds. That's way too simplistic. In the cosmic architecture, they are a literal structural foundation. They function as the ultimate firewall and load balancer. They are actively shielding the network of our world, preventing a catastrophic flood of destructive judgment from just crashing the entire system.
So let's open up the engine room and do a quick Sephirot breakdown.
The Kabbalistic architecture maps out the Sephirot, the divine emanations, so perfectly. Think of Yesod as the Tzaddik. This is your firewall, the pure foundation. Then you've got Tiferet, which is embodied by Jacob, acting as the system balance. Dot is Moses, the supreme knowledge interface. Way down at the bottom is Malchuth, which is our world, the physical server itself. And hovering above all of this is Gevora, the destructive protocol, the heavy judgment. All these components aren't just sitting there. They are constantly actively interacting in real time to keep reality stable. And within that engine room, there's a massive, ongoing clash of forces. On one side, you have the heavy, terrifying red code of Gevora, harsh, unyielding judgment. On the completely opposite side is the piercing, stabilizing white light of the Tzaddik's mercy, drawing down from Hesed. Now, the Zohar teaches that these colors aren't just poetic symbolism. They represent literal cosmic frequencies. The white light of the Tzaddik actively dilutes and blocks that red judgment from executing its code. And when you look at the cosmic ratio, it's just astonishing. One Tzaddik sustains the countless forces of the entire world. It is completely mind-blowing that a single, perfectly optimized node, just one righteous individual, can process the immense load balancing required to sustain the entire Malchut system. It just goes to show how incredibly powerful the white light of pure mercy really is. So, how is this actually played out in reality?
Let's look at the protectors of the realm, history's actual firewalls.
We can trace the historical succession of that glowing white pillar duty. It's like passing the server admin rights from generation to generation. It starts with Jacob, who perfectly balanced the system. Then it transfers to Joseph, who took on the unbelievably heavy burden of being the active load balancer in a highly corrupted environment. And finally, it passes to Moses, the ultimate knowledge interface. Together, they maintained the system's integrity across centuries.
Let's break down Jacob's specific architecture for a second. As the embodiment of Tiferet, he provided the core balance for everything. But he didn't do it alone. His firewall was supported by 12 tribal nodes, and it was powered by 70 subroutines, which are the 70 souls that originally went down to Egypt. The Zohar actually refers to him as the husband of the Malkuch system. His very existence is what kept the world from shaking apart.
Then, of course, we have Joseph, who perfectly embodies the role of Yesod. Think about it. Joseph was plunged directly into Egypt, which was an incredibly hostile, judgment-heavy environment. Yet, he functioned as the direct active channel. Because he maintained his absolute purity, his firewall stayed up, sweetening the harsh decrees and keeping all that red judgment at bay, even in the darkest, deepest exile.
And then comes Moses as Dot. Now, the sources point out a really fascinating detail here. Moses didn't just operate independently. When the Israelites left Egypt, Moses carried Joseph's bones. Why? Because Moses, the supreme knowledge connection, needed to merge with Joseph's Yesod framework. He literally brought the physical anchor of the previous firewall online to properly connect with and shield the Malchut system during the Exodus. It's all connected.
But we have to ask, what happens when the system is finally overwhelmed? Well, there is an exact step-by-step crash sequence. Step 1, the Tzaddik gathers the white light of mercy. Step 2, the world, Malchut, thrives safely under this massive shield. But then Step 3, the Tzaddik is taken offline, they perish. And immediately Step 4 triggers. Without the firewall there to block it, the red code of Gevurah, that harsh judgment, instantly floods the system.
So let's translate these mechanics into something we can really visualize today. For the kids watching or anyone who games, here is the video game version. Think of the Tzaddik as the ultimate tank class character in your party. They have this massive, glowing shield buff that protects the entire team. But the developers program the game so that right before the toughest, most destructive boss stage begins, the tank's shield drops. The boss literally cannot spawn while the shield is active. The shield has to vanish for the next phase of the game to trigger.
And for the adults, here is the cosmic engineering reality of it. The Zohar teaches a profound rule of spiritual physics. While the firewall remains online, the system's clearing protocol, that red judgment, literally cannot execute. The Tzaddik's white light doesn't just hide the server, it actively repels the red code. If the architect of the universe determines that the server needs a hard reset, well, the firewall must be uninstalled first.
Which brings us to the ultimate question of this explainer. If the firewall is so incredibly effective, why does the architect uninstall it? I mean, if the goal is to protect the world, why hit the reset button and allow the red code to flood in at all?
The answer lies in the mechanics of withdrawal. Over time, the world just becomes too heavy with errors, with sins and corruption. Because of this bloat, the Malchut system dries up. People literally stop drawing down the good energy. When that happens, the Tzaddik's channels close up. They have nowhere to direct their white light anymore. So the architect does two things. He safely removes the righteous before the devastating system wipe, as a total act of mercy to them. And for the world, the sudden loss of that firewall is a terrifying final reality check. But here's the beautiful part. The architect never leaves the system entirely without hope. Just as Jacob and Joseph had the 12 tribes, the cosmic architecture always builds in 12 structural backup servers. Even when the primary pillar transitions offline, the underlying framework of those 12 nodes remains there to ensure the physical server of Malchut isn't utterly destroyed, just rebooted.
Which brings us to upgrading your own dimensions. You are a pillar in your own world. Seriously, ask yourself, how strong is your firewall? The Zohar isn't just giving us some abstract history lesson here. It's giving us a blueprint. Every single one of us has the capacity to be a load balancer for our family, our community, our own little slice of the Malchut system. By generating that white light of mercy and maintaining our own integrity, we actively hold back the red judgment for the people around us.
Thank you for joining us for this complete journey through the Pardes. We hope these ancient truths help you and your family improve your own dimensions this week. If you enjoyed this full chapter deep dive, please like, subscribe, and share which part of the journey touched your soul in the comments. We'll see you in the next chapter.